everybody's just
It was
banging.
pretty dark in there, as far as I know. It turned into a Foo Fighter orgy.
Lowery, I've waited here for you 2 long weeks. Tonight we have a huge episode. So much stuff, way too much stuff to talk about. Do 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 do. And then I'm gonna skip into this part. And I wonder, how was the last 2 weeks treating you? Do you know?
So it's Foo Fighters.
Yeah,
because
there you go.
just went to the concert last night. Everlong?
There
we
you
go.
go.
Got it.
Nice, the signature song.
Yeah, I needed the do.
I know the words didn't match up very well, and there wasn't a lot of magic talking.
did
It was
great.
just more
You
of talking about.
You missed me.
Yeah.
And that's what I got.
Totally missed your face. All right, welcome to Commander Smiths.
We are the Commander Smiths.
I am Adam Smith.
And I am Lowery Smith.
This is what episode? What?
Episode 36.
It feels like forever
Since we've recorded?
Yeah.
Well, it's only been 2 weeks.
It seems like forever though.
I mean, technically
how do we
3.
do this?
Technically 3.
Yeah, because we did. Yeah, 2 weeks. Well, yeah, this would be 3 weeks
1,
right
2,
now.
3, yeah.
Right.
Well, 15-ish days.
Yeah. So
And that's a long time. Because
it is a long time.
We've seen each other like every 7 days for the last 6 months.
I missed you, Lowery.
I missed you too. I missed you too.
But needless to say, being gone for 2 weeks, we still had our episodes go out because we pre-recorded.
Mm-hmm.
We have a shit ton of stuff to talk about today.
Yeah,
so.
and I'm sure we're even going to miss stuff. Like, I wasn't paying attention at all. So,
Yeah. Well, yeah, we were having to communicate. At first, it was like by text, and then you would get back to me like 8 hours later, and you're like, there's a 7-hour difference here.
Yeah.
So I'm only responding at this time and this time. And
like when I wake up, it's like 1 o'clock here.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, I got to wait until like 4 to have it be decent.
And then you lost like service or whatever.
I went to the Black Forest and like my service was awful.
So
I
then
moved over to my Wi-Fi was amazing.
Yeah.
So
then
email.
emails. We turned into emailing back and forth.
And that
so.
just doesn't have the same
You
feel.
were even emailing. How am I doing in fantasy football? Because you couldn't even watch that. I was like, I'm kicking your ass. I think I was playing you, right?
Yeah,
I was playing you.
You beat me.
Yeah. So anyways, today's episode, we have kind of into 3 parts. Basically, we are going to, what are we starting off with? Our top 10 Guilds of Ravnica commander cards, non-reprints.
And this is a legit list. We're going to go from 10
to 1. It's the first,
it's our
breaking
opinion.
it down, 10 to 1.
So if you don't agree with us,
fuck you.
Well, it's a little
you
strong.
make your own damn
it's
list.
a little strong. Yeah.
No, actually, if you feel like there's a different list of cards that we missed, throw it a comment underneath. Say which ones you think you should add. But we're talking commander.
And if you're saying that we're wrong, we're going to say that you're wrong.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll just go back and forth. And then segment 2.
And the world burns.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Segment 2 is just going to be a bunch of magic random shit. Like, we had a lot of stuff.
So that you officially want to call the segment random magic shit?
Random magic
All
shit.
Right.
But
I'll write that down in our segment columns of what we can use.
Yeah, our segment, all our different segment names. But I mean, with you being gone for 2 weeks, we had a lot of things that have happened, and normally we'd have like one of these in that category and just call it whatever that.
Sure,
but we have a lot of shit to talk about, so we're going to talk about that. And then what do we finish it off with?
Our top 15 rotating specs from Hour of Devastation.
So, but first, I would like to know, how was Germany, buddy?
Germany was great. I drank beer every day. So they come in liters or half liters. Everything's a half liter basically when it comes to beer. I had one for lunch, one for dinner, and that was totally acceptable.
Drinking, we might as well.
I can crack this open.
Bust us out because you're talking about beer anyway. But we're not drinking beer.
So this is not a beer. It is Shnapps from the Black Forest area, I think. It is called Schladerer.
You got to add a lot more.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It wasn't I didn't get as much spit on my face as I intended. But this is an apple pear schnapps, and I have no idea how it tastes.
So we're doing it in little shot glasses.
Yeah, because it's just
Well, you gave me a lot there, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Well,
I'm kind of jealous.
I'm not driving home, so you're driving
I'll take
home.
this a little bit. Now I'm jealous. Boop.
Oh no, you definitely need a little bit more than that.
Thank
That
you.
is-
You're sharing.
Let's
We haven't.
balance that out. Oops, now the cop pulls you over.
Yeah,
He's gonna
now
be like, you just reek
He
of
spilled it
freaking
on my
booze.
lap.
All right, cheers, buddy.
All right.
We'll see how
Thanks
this
for
tastes.
sharing.
Woo! It's apple. I don't taste. Well, I can kind of taste the pear.
I feel like this is
Ooh,
more
it's
like
burning.
a vodka.
Yeah, that's
It's all German.
that's not a
so
schnapps.
Nope.
That's straight vodka right
Yeah,
there.
I'm gonna have to go talk to that person. Maybe it's all German. I don't know German.
So, anyways, yeah, how did everything go? So you drank beer every day. I'm guessing you didn't have schnapps every day.
I did not. This is the first time I've had whatever. All right.
You're gonna spend the night now.
I'm glad I only bought like a little bottle.
That's one
here.
of the little guys that you get at the liquor
Yeah.
store kind of thing.
Not much pear in there. I don't.
No, I don't taste the pear. I taste the apple
Yeah,
in there,
the apple.
definitely.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of like sausage meats and stuff like that. They call it wurst for everything.
That was
Every
your
type of
country
meat.
right there. Just a bunch of sausage.
It was meat and beer and
cheese.
well, there's some. I mean, that wasn't their deal. That wasn't their jam. It was just like all sorts of different meats.
Like how your hand is just in the shape of
they
phallic
had
shape.
large sausages the size of my hand that barely fit.
Just you envy it. You're like, I wish.
It was fantastic. Like I was gassy all the
Oh,
time.
nice.
It was amazing. Like that one before we started up, that was nothing compared.
He's
Like,
talking about he ripped ass before
yeah.
we started. And if you know from the last episode, Lowery's tummy was really grumbly, so
Grumbly.
we might have that again here.
Yeah, I mean, hiking in the Black Forest was incredible where we were.
I've never even heard of the Black Forest. So
You haven't?
No.
Like Black Forest ham?
No. Well, yeah, that. Yeah, okay. That's
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of where like cuckoo clocks come from. And I
Gotcha.
bought one, so
nice.
yeah, that's way more expensive than you want to spend on a cuckoo clock. But
You
when
have
you're in the
one.
Black Forest, and
You got to
that's the
do
only-
it.
Yeah, and then like Black Forest cake. Have you ever heard of that?
Nope.
So that's like a specialty item there where they put a lot of like liqueur in the whipped cream and like a bunch of chocolate layers with like syrupy cherries in the center of it.
So a booze
pretty
cake.
good. Yeah. No, it's very tasty. It's very tasty.
Nice.
So, but yeah, went to a couple, like one brewery. Alpiersbach is where I stayed in the Black Forest. I was in Schweinfurt, which is a Bavaria area. The train system works. Public transit is nice. Because
Because that's how you basically got around.
Yeah. Because Americans renting a car there, like the insurance is insane. It wasn't even worth it. I learned that my child does not sleep on planes or trains.
And that's a long ass fucking
Yeah,
flight.
like for traveling, when we woke up to when I could go back to sleep, it was 25 hours in traveling and trying to get there. And my child slept for 2.5 hours. Of that. And
was he miserable then at that point? Like towards like
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I was miserable. Like, so that part wasn't the best.
so
but
coming back, was it the same way then?
that was a lot. That was only 18 hours of travel, and he slept about 4.5 hours. So
Doubled.
a lot better.
So your next flight, it's going to be 6 hours when
I probably won't be flying that long. I learned my lesson. So, but yeah, Germany was really cool.
How was it to be away from all magic stuff for 2 weeks pretty much? I mean, you were kind of catching up
I
a
know
little
that
bit.
I said that I missed you, but it was more I missed
Miss
magic.
Magic.
I'm sorry. So no, but I didn't even get a chance to go out and look for like a store or anything. So
That would have been kind of cool if you were
yeah,
able to, but
it would-
yeah. You didn't really have transportation that would do that.
Yeah, I don't know a lick of German, so it was kind of like you learn how to play charades a lot better when you're in like a country. They're like, naming numbers that you owe them money, and you're like, can I just see the numbers? I have money. I just don't know what you're saying at all. Like
They're yelling at you. I can't even do a fake German.
No, you can't.
No.
That
It sounds like the South Park.
it sounds like a dog barking, like talking. Like the old, I know a little bit of Spanish, and so like my mind would switch over and
Uno,
yeah,
dos.
like I know like yes is ja in German, but I said si so many times. my wife knows German, and she even I said it so many times where she said "see" and she's like, "Son of a."
Nice.
So
see, that's awesome.
"Sí, señor cerveza."
Yeah, senor. Oh, that would have been awesome. If you,
I can survive in Spanish, maybe. I mean, okay.
You can count. You could say "see."
Should I tell you the awful Spanish story from years ago? Okay, so me and my wife went down to Peru. We actually got engaged down there a few years back now. But we're in the airport in Peru, and we're getting a transfer flight to where we're going. And I was like, I'm going to try out my Spanish. And I asked this guy, hey, does this flight go to here? And he blank stared at me, kind of shook his head. And I tried it again. And then he was like, sprechen die Deutsch? Which is, do you speak German? And my wife's like, yes, I do. Oh, nice. And then they converse in German in a Spanish-speaking country. And I'm like, son of a bitch.
You can't win, Lowery.
And so I was trying my Spanish in Germany, and it did not work in that reverse order at all. Yeah, see. And they're like, you're an idiot.
Well, that sounds like fun, man.
Yeah, no, it was a great time. I highly suggest if you like meat and beer.
I do. I like them both.
And all that stuff. And then, as I mentioned earlier, you got done last night, which was Thursday night here in Minnesota. You got to go see Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters for the 9th time.
Yeah. So you like them? Or?
No, just a little bit.
All right. They're your favorite band.
Yeah. My wife, I have tattoos. My wife has tattoos. Our wedding song, our first song, was one of their songs. Oh, Lowery just drank the rest of that. that was a legit shot there.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting. So I got a couple things from it.
Yeah.
Out of the 9 times we've seen them, I would say that was probably the 8th best time. It wasn't
way down there on the list.
Yeah, way down.
Not so good.
We saw him a year ago, and he had laryngitis, so that was pretty awful.
That's number 9?
Yeah, that's number 9.
Or was that number 7?
That's number 9. But this, I mean, it was the last show of their North American tour, so he kind of let loose, as in, I think he was kind of drunk, and his voice wasn't very good, so you could tell that they've been on tour for a year and a half.
Okay.
So it was and we were listening back to some of the stuff that we recorded, and it was yeah, it was pretty, the sound wasn't there.
Okay.
And then the weirdest thing was, I thought Dave quit. He used to smoke when he was a kid, or not kid, when he's in his 20s and 30s, early, before he had kids. Sorry, yeah. I meant to say before he had kids.
Okay, yeah.
And I haven't seen him smoke since. And then all of a sudden he busted out smoking in the middle of it, and through me and my wife off. We're like, what the fuck?
You're gonna ruin your voice.
That's why your voice hurts right now. It sucks. And
smoking's so bad.
But I will say,
go to vaping.
One of the coolest things was they shut all the lights off, and they started. It was Monkey Wrench, and they started playing Monkey Wrench in the dark. But then everybody started turning on their cell phone lights, and one by one, people are getting it on. They're not getting it on. One by one, everybody's just banging. It was
pretty dark in there, as far as I know. It turned into a Foo Fighter orgy.
That's what happens at Foo Fighter concerts. You should go sometime.
Not the one I went to.
Yeah, no, you were a bouncer. Yeah. You were a freaking bodyguard. Side note, going to jump to that story really quick. Lowery went years ago, the first time that they played at the XL, and we were in the mosh pit, basically. But normal Foo Fighter concerts aren't mosh pitty. But for some reason, we were by some teenage kids with their dad, and they decided...
That was smoking like Dave Grohl did back in his day.
But they freaking just started moshing, and it was annoying as shit. They were just running into people to run into people. And so Lowery could see I was getting pissed, and he just moved in the way and became our bodyguard. So they'd hit Lowery and just dead stop and fall on the ground.
He's saying bodyguard. I was more like a body wall.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Little shoulder.
I enjoyed the concert after that. But yeah, so that was the last time that we were actually on the floor. We've done some festival stuff. But anyways, back to the lights, everybody started turning on their cell phone lights, and it got so bright in there that it looked like they actually had the lights on. So it was really freaking cool, to see. That's all
impressive.
That. Yeah. I didn't know that. I guess it makes sense.
Did they go for that? Is that a thing that they were going for?
Yeah, because then he had us all... Well, no, I don't think it was planned, but then once it started happening, I'm sure they've done it before where people do that. Once it started happening, he got us all to shake our lights, and we got it all on video. It's pretty sweet. So, but yeah, it was it's still a good show. They're a really good band.
Yeah,
He's a good
I really
frontman.
did enjoy. They were the best live band that I had seen.
Yeah.
I don't see a whole ton, but they were very enjoyable. That was like 7 years ago now.
That was a while back. That was I think it was 3 albums back when you went and saw. So, but it was still good. It just wasn't their best. We liked all the other ones that we liked or saw more than that one.
So did this like tarnish your view of them?
No,
of course not.
No. He just was
nothing can tarnish.
No,
that.
but the fact that I'm actually able to stand back and be like, that wasn't the best. Like if I was really just blind
would
to it.
Would you consider yourself a groupie?
No.
Are you sure?
Maybe.
That's a lot of times.
Cindy always is like, oh, do you think we got the hotel that their baby at? Like, just hoping that we run into them. It's like, because Dave is her one, and I was like, yeah, Dave's my one too. So, but anyways, that was our last 2 weeks.
The main question that I've wanted to ask is who opened for them?
Oh, what the fuck was their name?
Because they always have good openers.
It wasn't
from the ones that I've.
Well, the last 2, it's been like random little bands. It was like youth. I don't know. I don't even know. But
I know the one that I went to. That was the reason why I went.
Yeah,
it was Rise Against.
That was
I loved
good.
Them.
Yeah, that was good.
And I remember like when you brought your wife to her first concert. You're like, should we go to the opening act? And I was like, who is it? And you're like, Serge.
Oh no,
Tankian?
I like Serge. Yeah,
Did you know? No,
System of a Down. I knew Serge. Yeah, I knew that they had done.
And I was like, yeah, you go to that.
No, that was our first one. Like that was my first concert too.
That was your first one?
Yeah, that was the first time we saw him was at Target Center when Serge was there.
Okay,
but I knew Serge because I loved System of a Down.
Yeah, System of a Down was awesome
but
too.
Anyways,
now that we've wasted 15 minutes of your time,
exactly. So we should jump into, what are we jumping into first? Our top 10 commander cards for
Guilds of Ravnica. Yeah.
So
this is our list.
We kind of broke it down as, we're not including the legendary creatures.
Yeah, and we're not doing reprints like Chromatic Lantern or the Shocklands.
Which you should get all of those.
You should definitely
get them now because they're going to be as cheap as they're going to be now, and they're only going to go up. Mm-hmm. Opposite of what normal cards, but those cards were so high to begin with. $15, $20 Shocklands. They're now down 7 to 9. 7 is your highest, and then they're going to go way back up. So get your how many ever you need, your play set, whatever you need, get those now. Especially with Chromatic Lantern as well. That's $3.
And the reason, do we have a reason why we're not going with Legends? Just because if you want them, you're going to go get them because you build with them.
Yeah, they're your commanders.
Yeah.
So each one of them you can use. Yeah. They all have their
certain importance and the like.
We're more saying the top 10 utility cards that you can use in a lot of different decks here. Yeah. So, but we're going to go work our way back to number 1. So we'll start with number 10. Lowery, you want to start us off with number 10?
Number 10, Dream Eater, which is the Sphinx that you surveil for, and then it bounces a creature, and it has flash and flying for 6. It just does so much. And remember, this is number 10. So, but like, it could be a big turnaround. It has 2 enter the battlefield abilities. It can has evasion. It just does so much that this could fit into a ton of different decks. Even works in like graveyard decks with the surveil.
It has so much to it with the flash, flying, and surveil with that. I mean, you have a body that comes in at flash speed, and then you can, in graveyard type decks, you can frickin' stack your stuff. Surveil's really sweet. I really like that.
I did really enjoy it. Back when we did the pre-release, that's what I was working with, and it was a ton of fun. And
that with the cards that we've opened with our boxes and stuff, we'll get to that in that magical shit in a little bit. I tend to keep even the commons and uncommons that have surveil in it. I just like that mechanic so much that I've been normally I get rid of the stuff I'm never going to use. So that stuff I feel has a potential to be used in everything. So definitely I like that card quite a bit. Number 9 is Beast Whisperer. This is pretty straightforward, but it's the first creature that, and it's so cheap. It's 2 green and 2 colorless that whenever you cast a creature spell, you draw a card. Mm-hmm. Most of the other ones are 6 mana, or they have a stipulation where it's 4 or more power.
Anytime a creature with 4 or more power. Yep.
So this one's...
Obviously, we talked about this before.
A little bit before, yeah. But, I mean, it's good. It's good for green decks. It's good for it's cheap. It's easy to get out. You don't have to spend 6 to get those other ones.
Yeah,
I still use those other ones. This is still
in like the utility type of commander. Like if you turn 3 or turn 4 this, you're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
So and then even if it's late game, it still will give you that draw power. I think this is going to be a used card quite a bit, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. I did try to put it. I think it was one of my last cuts when I did my Commander Spotlight.
The Vraska.
Yep, Vraska one. All right, then we move into our next one. Why don't you read that one, Larry? Number 8.
We went with 1,000 Year Storm, and this is one where it basically gives all of your spells storm after the first. So if you cast one instant, that just happens. But if you cast your second instant or sorcery, it happens again. And then if you cast your third that turn, you get 3. So technically you've cast 6 spells that turn. It can really snowball. There's a lot of people that like spell slinging decks out there. And we just think that this probably goes in all of those.
Right. There's a lot of spell slingers.
Yeah.
You're kind of on the verge of a spell slinger kind of guy.
Sure. I'll go with that. I probably should have went spell slinger with Niv Mizzet. But
you can change it.
No.
I'm done with Niv Mizzet.
Niv Mizzet, King of Ping, is a really cool name. And if it doesn't ping, if it's not a bunch of pingers,
we still have yet to test our stuff out. We're going to do that soon, and
we're going to try and do that next week.
Yeah. So, next on our list, number 7 is Underrealm Lich, and we really like this card because it's a modern day Sylvan Library in a way. I mean, it's 3 and I mean, it's not as good as Sylvan Library. Don't get me wrong there, but
5 mana to 2 mana enchantments.
Right, exactly. But it's a legitimate one that you can use. It's another draw engine with it. So you have 3 black and green, and then if you draw a card instead, look at the top 3 cards of your library, and then put those into your hand. Put 1 into your hand and the rest in your graveyard. So you can kind of set it up.
It could really fill up your graveyard.
And the nice thing is, it's whenever you draw a card. Where it's Sylvan Library is the beginning of your turn. So I mean, that's a beginning.
Well, when you have Sylvan Library out, the ability is drawing 3 cards.
Yeah,
so you could look at the top 9 cards, put 3 of those into your hand, and then put the other 2. Like, you're filtering like crazy with Sylvan Library and Underrealm Lich.
So using this in any like Get Rog or any new,
that would be awesome.
The new Planeswalker dude, what's his name? The one that came out in the Planeswalker set that deals with putting stuff into your. Oh, I'm a brain farting. The
Planeswalker set?
The Planeswalker guy. What's his name? The cat that everybody's using for the land stuff. The graveyard guy.
Oh, Lord Windgrace.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
So, I mean, that would be pretty good in there. Although, is that the right colors?
Yeah.
It does.
That's green, red. That's Jund. Green, red, black. And this is green, black.
Green,
that
black.
would work.
Okay. So, yeah, I think it's definitely a good card. Plus, he has the potential of turning indestructible. So...
But paying 4 life isn't
in Commander.
That's
pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean you can do that.
It's not
easily.
that good.
No, I mean
it's not that bad.
But to keep him around, I mean it's a way to keep him there. He has an indestructible built into himself.
Yeah,
so
it's very cool.
Number 6.
Number 6, March of the Multitudes. One of us got that in our box opening tonight.
Son of a bitch.
So March of the Multitudes. This one just, again, does so much. It has Convoke. It creates 1/1 counters with lifelink on it.
Yeah, that's the key part there.
And it's instant speed, so you could do it at the end of a turn.
Yeah, that's the other key part there. Like, the instant speed is pretty...
This does so much. Yeah. Like, I like Secure the Waste from Cons, where it's just 1 white and X. But with this having Convoke, man, right before your turn, you could just lay down a ton of cards, or a ton of creatures. This I think can be a real swingy play.
Yep, definitely going to be used in EDH quite a bit, this card. Yeah, I like it a lot. I'm jealous you got it. I did not. Number 5 is a card that I really like, and actually, this is one I kind of
poo-pooed on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
want
want to do a little side note to this because I was like, dude, Experimental Frenzy, which that's our number 5 card. I was like, this is a really freaking good card for draw for red because red doesn't have it. Blah 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 blah, and that was during the pre-release, and you're like.
Yeah.
Meh.
I was pretty meh on it.
And then when it popped up to 5, because I was like, I picked up 24 of them for under $1, and it popped up to 5, and he's in Germany. I was like, I still got to fucking text him. I was like, guess what, Lowery? It's up to $5 now.
Guess who's right?
But yeah, it's
and you are.
It's a very interesting card. It's to be able to, if you play this late game, it can really be beneficial because your hand is pretty much gone anyways, and you can just start playing stuff. You get to double land. You're already at the point where you have enough land. Let the second land die in your hand. You know, there's a lot you can do.
Well,
and then
we were talking about it. I was going, well, if you have any sort of top of the deck manipulation, and as we talked about in our spoilers way back when, but like I started going like, what if you have Sensei's Top out?
Oh yeah,
and then like you could just draw that land, put it in your hand, and then replay Sensei's Top super easy, and then move on from there. Or just being able to rearrange the top of your deck with Sensei's Top. But it gives you a ton of options. And again, if you have like a library of whatever we just said.
Sylvan Library?
Yeah, Sylvan Library.
Library of Land.
I was going to say Library of Land. Which is not a good card for this. Well, actually, that's not a bad one either.
Because you
could discard a card on top of your library to play it. See? Boom. So many applications for this.
You're a genius with it. You didn't even mean to be a genius with it.
I'm a poet and didn't know it.
Well, the other part of this whole thing, too, is they have the ability to
get rid of it.
Yeah. So if it is screwing with you and you want the cards that are in your hand, pay the 4 and kill it. And you can do it at instant speed. You can do it whenever. Yeah. So wait till it comes back to your turn. You're like, all right, I kill it. Now I'm going to use the stuff in my hand. So, and you pulled this in your box.
I also got this one in my box.
I just bought like 24 of them. That's all I did.
Yeah, you didn't need. Number 4, we're going to go with Night of Autumn. This one has a bunch of modes to it. So like it's a 2/1. When it comes into play, you can either gain 4 life, destroy an artifact or enchantment, or make it into a 4/3.
For 3.
For 3 mana. This has so much utility.
Yeah.
I think this can go in a ton
of
green-white. Like, there's that elf that is a 2/1 when it comes to play, destroy an artifact or an enchantment. I would in green-white decks, I play them either together or this over.
Is that Sage? What's his name? Sage.
Yeah.
It starts with an R.
Reclamation Sage.
There we go.
Thank you. Wow, you're very good there.
Oh, it starts with an R. Sage is in the word.
No, you did great. So I mean, like this one just has so much utility. Sometimes you just need that little bit of life to survive a turn.
Most likely you're going to be doing the destroy target artifact or enchantment. Or, I mean...
and if there's nothing good out there to even destroy, then you have a 4/3.
Yeah.
It's a knight, which might be relevant.
Right.
Dryad will not be relevant, but it seems like a really powerful card. Modes are awesome.
And a little spoiler with this. This card made it very interesting with our boxes.
And
we'll talk about that in a little bit here. We're not going to backshadow. Which I love.
Foreshadow.
Backshadowing. I still love that.
That was a good idea.
I know.
Classic.
All right.
They should do that in books. We do foreshadowing and then backshadow. And you're like, oh, I do remember that. I do remember they talked about that in the book or the movie.
All right. Next card, number 3, Divine Visitation. This is 3 and 2 white. This is the enchantment that whenever you have a token that comes into play, instead make it a 4/4 flying angel.
Yeah, this seems so cool.
Yeah. With white, I mean, you could do it just, the white soldier tokens, but Boros uses a lot of goblin tokens and all that. That will be freaking perfect in that. None of us got this.
No, yeah, I haven't seen it pulled at all. Now, like... In thinking about this, like, it seems really powerful. Now, would you rather be playing, like, Parallel Lives and Anointed Procession over this? With it? With it, definitely.
With it, yeah.
But, like, you also need enough token makers. Like, if you go turn 4, Parallel Lives, turn 5, Divine Visitation, you've pretty much done nothing for 2 turns.
Yeah. But the thing is with Commander having the onesies with everything, having this as an option, you know, all those options, one really of those nice. With everything else making counters is freaking sweet. It's just another tool for those.
It goes perfect in the token deck and like March of the multitudes. That seems even crazier.
Yeah. Yeah,
like end of turn.
But you're not getting. I take the 1/1 life link. I'm just kidding.
Would you? Would you? You would rather have 1/1 gain life versus ending a game? All right.
I just like life. I like to live, Lowery.
That was. Can we put that on a poster where a cat's hanging from a tree? I just like life.
I love life, Lowery. All right, our number 1 and 2. Which one do you think is number 1? What do you think? Number 1, 2. What's 2?
Am I doing 2? I'm doing 2. All right. Number 2, Ass Trophy. For short. Assassin's Trophy, which is the money rare of the set.
It was the money of the whole set until
Doom Whisperer.
Way to break our number 1.
Edit that out. We don't know. That might not be number 1. We might not like that card. I don't know. So Assassin's Trophy, which is the one we're talking about currently, is
I like how you stuck your like you exploded on the mic.
So Assassin's Trophy is going to be great removal.
Yeah.
Like it just hits everything. You know,
you have Path to Exiles in almost every white deck. You have that for your removal.
And so like the land, it's something, but like people are okay with that.
Yeah.
Like, and then this is able to hit just so much more.
Everything like
other
Gaia's
than
Cradle.
Locust God.
I was just about to say Locust God.
It hits a ton. Well, Locust God would come back because it is a destroy.
Oh, it is a destroy. It isn't exile.
So it's not exiling, so it doesn't get your indestructible things, but being able to hit land for 2 mana,
right? Like,
and they still go get a land, but you're getting a utility.
I kill your basic land. Well, I'll just go get that same basic. Thank you.
You're dumb. Yeah. But like we both got one, and I plan on putting it in every green black deck.
Yeah.
I normally use Maelstrom Pulse.
I actually got 2 of them, but one's from the Mythic edition crap. So.
Yeah, and so I'll be putting this right along Maelstrom Pulse.
And then we go into our number 1 where Lowery just ruined it.
No, that would be Mnemonic Betrayal.
Right.
Is our number 1, right?
Number 1 is Doom Whisperer.
What about Plague Crafter?
Our Insta-Spec card that we have talked about twice now, actually.
We love this card.
Yeah, it's so freaking good. It's just insane.
6/6 flying trample for 5, and then you get to pay 2 life and surveil 2. Like,
it's stupid good.
Again, goes in every graveyard deck.
Yeah,
that's black.
Well,
which is
I would just say it could go in every
deck.
Black deck.
This could, I mean, it's you can look at it as a life tutor. Like you're paying a bunch of life to go find that card that you need.
Yeah, exactly.
It just does so much,
and it's only been on the rise. I mean, like I said before, Assassin's Trophy was the number 1 most expensive card in the set. Doom Whisperer has been creeping up, like we predicted beforehand that this card would jump over 20 by the time the set came out and probably hit 30 pretty quick after that.
I think it's solid in between 20-30 easy, and it should stay there.
And then you got the foils those right now if you can find them for under 40, but we had put that as an insta-spec while Lowery was gone, actually.
You didn't run that by me.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I was like, hey, we should put this in insta-spec. There's not much left.
And I'm pretty sure that was me like responding 8 hours later.
Yeah, it probably was. I was like, Lowery, it's too late. It already went up, you bastard. But yeah, this is definitely an awesome card.
This card is crazy.
It's going to go in every black deck that I have. So that is our top 10 list for commander cards for the new Guilds of Ravnica. And like we said before, go for your Chromatic Lanterns and Shock Lands for sure.
Definitely get those
these are your
cards.
next 10 that you should go for.
Like Chromatic Lantern is probably my most used rock. Right next to Commander Sphere.
Unless you're using a 1 color, but other than that, if you're using anything, but we never use 1 color. It's always 2 color or more.
1 color is boring.
Yeah, it is. Like,
I want to play all the colors.
All the colors of the rainbow.
If they added a color, I'd add that in too.
Well, they kind of did. They had the wastes in a
Colorless?
way.
Yeah, well, that's...
That went away quick.
I know, I totally get it.
All right, so now we move into magical shit. What is our...
You had another word in there.
I know.
You're cutting it short.
Magical shit. So quite a few things happened while Larry was gone. Where do we want to start with?
Okay, so I'm curious about Arena.
Okay.
And the reason being for me, like, it's open beta now, and I know that in the past I've been like, I'm not super interested.
And it's more because it's computer stuff.
Yeah, because I'm not a huge fan. But so when I was in Germany, I had a good friend, and he's like, hey, are you playing MTG Arena? Because he's dabbled in Magic on and off, but things don't really hold his attention for super long.
Yeah.
And so with him asking me about it, I'm going like, it must be good.
Yeah.
Or it must be doing really well. And he said he had played it for 3 or 4 days in a row and was really enjoying it.
Yeah. So while you were gone, since you were gone, I like that. Do you like that?
You were practicing it.
Yeah.
You were going to do that.
But while you were gone, actually, a couple of things happened. So I think I've said it before on the podcast. If I haven't, I'm going to reiterate it right now. Or if I have, I'm going to reiterate it right now. Arena, I was always going to play. I just didn't want to play. I had my beta, closed beta code, and I played for a couple weeks, and then I was like, I don't want to put all this time and make all these decks and then just have it erased. So I was like, I'm going to kind of wait till it's more when it comes out. Well, I still wasn't going to because now it's open beta. But then on MTG Goldfish, Saffron Olive wrote an article where he was talking about a lot of times when Wizards does like the open beta, that's the game. Like they actually sometimes that the open beta goes for years, and sometimes
they just slide into this is
the game. So I was like, oh shit, okay. Well, if that's the case, I wanted to start playing it because it was supposed to be released at the end of this year. Well, we're towards the end of this year. They just did open beta. This is pretty much probably what it is. So actually, in the last I'd say week and a half or so,
you started playing.
I started playing, and it's pretty fucking awesome. They give you, so basically, I don't want to, everybody's heard the details with it, but like, you can't go and buy cards like to build your decks. You have to open packs and find them.
And like play a bunch of games.
Right.
And
you win cards or win packs and whatever. You can join in on sealed events, or you can play your deck and see how many wins you get in a row, and you can win stuff.
So can you go and buy cards?
No, say you can't, but you can buy packs.
But you buy packs.
Right. But here's the thing.
And then you buy into sealed?
Yeah, you can buy.
If you so chose.
Yeah, you can.
And you can
right.
play into
or you can do
sealed
drafts and stuff like that. But here's kind of the cool thing with it, and I know we're probably late to the game because, like I said, we backed away, or I backed away from it once I realized that
we can blame this on me being in Germany.
Yeah. No, the last like 6 months or whatever since it's been. That's what I'm saying. I backed away from it because I didn't want to play when I get it erased. But if you pull one of the cards in a pack and you want 4 of them, as long as you have the wild card stuff or whatever, you can make a copy of it. As long as you have the right, like you can have their mythic ones, there's rare, uncommon, whatever. As long as you have those wild cards, I believe is what the name is. Like I said, I've been playing for a week and a half, so
okay.
But then you can make a duplicate of that card. But you can't go and, like, let's say you wanted 1,000-Year Storm or whatever, you didn't own it yet, not a single copy of it. You can't just go and make that card.
With at the least, wild cards, it's random.
Well, no,
is it random? Mythic?
Not random. You have to own the card to make a duplicate of it.
Oh, so you can put together wild cards to make a duplicate of what you have.
Right.
Okay.
I believe I might be saying it wrong with the wild cards. I think it is what it's called though, the wild cards. But and like I said, I've only been playing it for about a week and a half. But things that they've been doing with it, it's pretty fun. But basically, it's standard. I mean, that's what it is. You're playing standard right now, and it's just a grind. You can pay money and actually build pretty damn good decks, but right now I've been just playing for free. We did get one thing from one of our listeners, David. If you are just playing Arena or whatever, you can go and redeem the code, and you type in PlayRavnica,
and the
capital P and R are capitalized. And you get 3 free packs. So that's pretty sweet that he gave us that.
Thanks for that info, David.
But yeah, does it interest you enough to potentially jump into the digital world, Lowery?
Yeah, I'll probably start sitting down and seeing what I can do with it. That's all I got. I mean, if I sit down and actually work it out, like it was my son's birthday this last week as well. Like we got back from Germany and it was his birthday the next day, so he's 1 now.
Happy birthday, Lowery!
Yeah, got to set up that birthday stuff though. So I don't know if I'm gonna have time this next week.
Well, I'm just
Maybe
saying,
after.
but you're interested enough where you might actually start.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely be getting into that.
All right, and then
this is on the computer, not on the phone.
Right.
Right.
It's not on that. It's not on the phone yet. But that's a whole nother topic we can talk about a different time. Our thoughts on that and Moto and all that stuff. But okay, so then one really quick thing I did notice with I did get fat pack or about a fat pack, except they're not called fat packs anymore, they're called bundles.
Bundles. Yeah, you got a bundle of cards.
I like fat pack a lot better.
Fat pack is a lot better.
But what's kind of cool with the fat pack is they did give you the bundle, 5 foil. They give you a pack of basic lands. In that pack, they give you one of each type foil of your lands.
So you got a mountain foil?
Yep, got a mountain foil. But they didn't give you the cool foils that are in this set. The guild.
just normal Ravnica foil lands.
But it was foil, so I thought that was interesting to tell people if they wanted more foil lands, you're going to get 5 for sure.
We don't know if they actually did that in M19.
Because we didn't buy it.
But they at least did it for Ravnica, so if you're interested.
And then the next thing we were going to talk about was
the Masterpiece Planeswalkers that you were
the Mythic Edition stuff.
Okay, Mythic Edition.
So while you were gone, while you were gone,
that could be the name of the episode. While you were gone,
while you were gone,
nobody was gone but me. But,
yeah, right.
I was gone. I was unable to find the time to purchase these things. And you did take the time. So I heard it was a catastrophe?
Yeah, kind of was. Well,
it was a shit show, like we predicted.
Right. So here's kind of the funny thing about the whole... I'm going to kind of give a long story with it, but I kind of stumbled into it because I had planned to buy it, but I didn't see... I know I was telling you, I was like, they don't even have like it on the site. There's no magic cards on the site, so I don't know what they're going to do or whatever. And so... the third hit is when it was coming out on the 3rd, October 3rd.
Okay.
And I got up early and I was like, check their site. And I was like, nope, still the same. And I kept checking it, probably every half hour, just checking their site. And I'm like, all right, it doesn't look like, I don't know what's going on. So actually by about lunchtime when I put my son down for his nap, I decided to like check into it. So I was like Google searching or, looking on Twitter and all that stuff, being like, when are they releasing this? And then that's when I found actually you had to go to a tab and go under like special event stuff and then click down there, and then that's when it popped up.
So they made you work for it through like a maze of Hasbro.
Right.
They're like, hey, take these ponies.
Yeah.
Hey, check out.
It wasn't on their main page. You had to click
whatever.
on like special events and then go down to promotional gear or some promotional stuff. Mm-hmm. Then you click that and then it's the first thing there. And I was like, oh,
that was nice of them.
Yeah. I was like, oh, fuck, there it is. So I clicked on it and I went through the process and I was picking up 2 of them, and the first time I went through, it like gave an error, and I was like, shit. So I like took a picture of it because I wanted to show that I tried to buy it. So then I backed up and then went through it again. And then I got, congratulations, you purchased it. And I was like, fuck yeah. Well,
there's a lot of swearing when nobody else is around.
Right. That's what you do. So anyways, I checked my account because I was just like, they didn't give me an email or anything saying I got it. They said I would get one, but I didn't have an email confirmation. So I was like, I want to see if it went through. So I went through my bank account and I could see it went through, and then it took it right back, like gave it back to me. So it charged, and then they immediately refunded me the money. And I was like, motherfuckers. So I went back and did the same thing again, and it did the same thing. It was like, yeah, success. You got it, whatever. We'll give you an email confirmation. Went back to my bank account 10 minutes later, same thing, out. And I was like, God dang it. All right, I'm done. I'm not going to waste my time with it. I know.
What? No, I'm just... You're god dang it. Like, kind of cursing, kind of not.
So I was just like, all right, I'm done with it. Whatever. So
I don't want to get charged $750 later on.
All of a sudden, it gives me 4. But so I was listening to other podcasts, the MTG Fast Finance. They tried to do it too. There was a lot of issues. They went through the more of what actually happened, because they were following on Twitter and stuff, and we weren't following anybody at the time. And that's actually, we had a discussion after that we needed to start following a little bit more. We were just more on like, all right, people can follow, we won't really, because I don't know, why didn't we follow people? I don't know.
Well, because
there was a lot of shit that got on our feeds or whatever, and we were just like,
so much pointless stuff. Like, because we had followed like Mark Rosewater and Teresa Nilsson right before San Diego Comic-Con, and then it just like everything was about those Planeswalkers, and I was just like, fuck, I don't
that's part of the reason, is because then at that same time a listener like tweeted us, and we're so like not into Twitter, we're getting used to it now or whatever, but we didn't even see it because there was so much in our news feed from all the other stuff we were following, but you can see it, whatever. I'm like getting into the details of it, but then that's when I decided
how inadequate we are at Twitter. All right.
You know what? We never even did our like follow us and everything on that.
Oh, hey, you can follow us at Twitter at Commander Smiths, or at commandersmiths@gmail.com, or you can follow us, like us, and share us at YouTube's. And then, is that everything?
That's everything for now.
Right, you got it.
Completely forgot of that.
Podbean, we're on Podbean.
We're there,
and probably Apple,
and actually give us some reviews. Let's do this at the end. But anyways,
no, we're gonna do it at the end as well. That's what we're sandwiching. We're starting the show now.
But the whole fiasco of what I heard other stories was like, Wizards put out, we're having trouble pulling up the site and all this crap, and then a little bit later they're like, it's not going to be available until tomorrow. So then a lot of people just left because, it wasn't going to be available. And then like 15 minutes later, it was for sale. So they like put out a whole bunch of crap and all this stuff. Anyways, and now bringing back the story, a week after all this happened, I was disappointed. I was like, God, I really wanted those fucking cards. And I get an email from him saying, hey, are you still interested in buying the Mythic Edition, box set? And I was like, I'll do that. But they'd only let me buy one. They wouldn't let me buy two, just because they wanted to make sure to spread it around with everybody. So, which
was very nice of them. Yeah. Like I do like that.
Yeah. So I was fine with buying the one. Originally, I was planning on buying the two, selling one off, because they're selling for $600. And so you basically you get your box for free. But I got my box. I actually recorded a video, so we will have that up as well. But they're freaking awesome.
I'm not there. You did it.
Well, it's Commander Smith.
You did it without me.
You were in Germany.
Was I?
What, I did it? Yeah, I think I did.
Okay. I'll believe you.
I don't know. Anyways, so pretty sweet. I don't know. What do you think about the whole Mythic Edition now that everything's kind of come out and now the prices of everything going crazy? I mean, you're looking at...
Well, like the other thing that I kind of... To tack this on, like Channel Fireball, who's doing the tournaments, they also got an allotment. And once all of that stuff wasn't working... All of those tournaments sold out.
Yep, it's sold out
in the next like 6 months or whatever. So I find that pretty interesting, just to get a chance to go and buy these things. It seems like there's pretty high demand. It seems like there's not a whole ton out there. So I think it's interesting.
I love the way they turned out.
Yeah, you showed them to me. They look gorgeous. They look really good.
They look like our proxy cards a little bit in foil, which is kind of crazy because that's what we do. Is we take the actual art and then we just spread it out and make it a full art.
Get rid of that stupid black border that's not there for anything.
Everything should be full art.
I know. So I think it's really cool. I'm not going to go out all the way to buy any of them. No.
Would you buy a box though if they do it in the next Ravnica set?
Not if it's a shit show again. Like I'm not willing to go through that kind of crap. I don't have the patience to do it.
What if Channel Fireball has a GP that's close? Would you do that aspect of doing it? Like if it's in Minneapolis or something like that.
Like a couple months ago when we didn't go.
Right. But if you're going to pick up a box,
incentive for that.
What do you mean? That's like $600 free right there.
That's not free. You're paying for it.
You just go and turn around and sell that box, and you get it right back.
That kind of feels shitty.
Well, you feel shitty for making money?
Yeah, that's why I don't like working.
Yeah, that's why. Nice. I'm allergic to work, making money. So you're kind of still on the fence about buying it and everything?
Yeah. I'd still be on the fence.
It depends on what Planeswalkers. What if it's Jace?
The Mind Sculptor?
Full art.
I have it.
Full art.
You don't.
I do. I do have Jace.
You do?
Yeah. I got him from the last printing of him.
Okay.
He's up on my binder. I'll show you if you don't believe me. I got him. I got
iconic?
Jace because I have my proxy card of him.
All right.
Gosh.
Yeah, I'd still be iffy. I don't know.
Larry doesn't like making money. All right, well, let's talk about our last magical shit. We opened our boxes.
We did? How do we do?
It was pretty fucking crazy.
We're pretty happy with our boxes. I mean, we spent $80 per box, and we each got a box.
Mm-hmm.
And the value in it was very similar to, like, Battle Bond.
Right.
And very happy with it.
So you pulled your big winners were Doom Whisperer.
I pretty much went down the list of the top cards there. Like, I went Doom Whisperer, Assassin's Trophy, Aurelia, March of the Multitudes. Like, it's a lot of good cards right there.
Yeah, and I got the Assassin's Trophy, but then my bigger one, or big pull, was the foil of the, whatchamacallit?
Expansion Explosion.
Yeah, that one was a $22 one. Needless to say, we came down to the wire. You can check out our video because we are going to connect this, but I ended up winning by like $5.
$5 and change.
And then Lowery opened up the loser pack, and I ended up beating him by 71 cents.
Yeah, so I pulled a Knight of Autumn in the loser pack and came within
71 cents.
So I still lost.
But man,
0-4 in box openings.
But our overall value of it was $140.
Yeah,
we got out of it. So we paid 80. We made 60 off of it if we really we're only counting the stuff that's over $1. So, I mean,
there's chaff in there.
Yeah, a little bit.
So, but yeah, the opening a box was really cool. If you got one, I hope that you did just as well, if not better.
The weird thing was the Shockland stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I only opened up one Shockland, and I got two.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to get
more.
At least two would have been nice.
And for some odd freaking reason, out of all the stuff, as I opened that, I opened the Mythic Edition, opened
a bundle.
Fat pack. And then the pre-release, I opened 4 or 3 Watery Graves, 2 Overgrown Tombs, and then 1 Steam Vent. So for some reason, Watery Grave. Oh, and fucking 4 Niv Mizzets. God damn it.
You got 3 in
the
pack.
In the Mythic Edition crap. Yeah. I got 3 of them in there. That was pretty funny. Damn it. But I did pull that's where I got my other Assassin's Trophy, but still. Ugh. I mean, Niv, he's your commander spotlight, but 4 of them.
Well, and that was funny. You're like, do you want to trade for one? And I was like, I actually just went out and bought one just in case I don't get it, which I didn't get one.
I would have given you mine.
I would have given.
It sucks.
That's okay.
All right, let's move into our last segment, which is our top 15. Oh, wait.
No, that's it.
Okay, top 15 rotating Hour of Devastation cards. And this is not going to be really in a particular order. Well, we kind of do.
It's a list, but it's not really a list.
It's not like our top 10. We're not saying what the number 1 stuff is and all that.
So if you disagree with us on this one, then you're stupid. Because this isn't a real list. It's just a list to bring people in. And
to potentially add to your collection and maybe make some money off of it later when these cards actually go up. These are the ones we think are going to go up. So why don't you start it off so you can get to your favorite card?
And this is more like Commander heavy.
Right.
Okay, so number 1 is going to end up being the Locust God.
No,
from our list.
You switched.
This is obviously the number 1 card. And we're saying when non-foils go under $5.
Lowery.
What?
That is not number one.
That is definitely number one. And then we'd say any foils under $10, go for it.
Yeah.
Why? What?
Yeah, a good card. We all know it's a good card.
You want to go to number 2?
Number 2 is Razaketh. I've liked this card. I've spec'd on this card a bit. This is the one where it's a tutor, a built-in tutor by sacrificing creature and paying 2 life, and then you go search for any card and put it in your hand.
Yeah.
Non-foil looking for under 7, foil under 15 at this point. It's going to be hard to get it under 15, but if it gets under 15, I would pick them up. And
yeah, for the foil.
Yeah.
I think Razaketh as a non-foil should easily get under 7.
Yeah, foils are going to be a little more tough. Those are the ones most of this stuff I'm saying going for foil on these two. And that's what I say most of the time anyways. But the foils, if you can get them, if they get under 15, pick them up. I picked up a few back when it was around that price.
Yeah. And I think I picked mine up for like $4 or $5, just a one of.
Yeah.
Just to have it. Okay, so the real number 3
number 1
is the Locust God.
That
I
is
went to the real number 3.
But our number
okay,
one.
so the real number 1 is the Scarab God. This card is crazy. It dominated Standard. It's a great commander card. It has a lot of utility in a lot of different places. We're talking about if you can get the non-foils, once they get under $10, start picking those up. And then we're thinking if you can get foils for under 20, you should be happy.
Yeah, definitely like that card. The gods are good. Number 4, Torment of Hailfire. We've talked about this as a spec before.
I feel like we've kind of missed the boat at this point, like because it is really high.
I know.
I hope it drops back down, but I think people have kind of caught on to this one.
The non-foils could drop. We could maybe get below 5, but your foils, if you get under 10,
yeah,
you could probably. But yeah, that's where I was saying picking them up before when we put it as our spec. So they might be as low as they're going to be right now.
Yeah. Yep. And you can kind of tell, like, a lot of the lists that we've done, the cards that are higher priced tend to be more casual, commander, powerful cards.
Totally correct, yeah.
And if they were all-stars in Standard, then they're just that much better.
Yep.
So, number 5, Crested Sunmere, or Sunmare. It's that horse that makes other horses.
It's that horse.
It's very crested.
It's
a crusty sun
if
mare.
you gain life at the end of each end step, if you gain life, you get a 5/5 horse.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And other horses are
I
indestructible.
told you it was a horse making a horse. If it's in play, it makes indestructible horsies.
And I would probably actually more so shoot for the foils on this. But we had what?
You're thinking foils under 5, and we think you can kind of pick non-foils up under 3.
Yeah.
So
I think that'll happen pretty quick.
Yeah, I think this is pretty casual, and it's
But for gaining life, if you're in a white deck,
you're making 5/5s.
Yeah.
If you have Divine Visitation in play, you're actually going to just make 4/4 angels. Then.
Oh shit! Damn it, that's a downgrade, and they're not going to be indestructible anymore.
Maybe not as good.
Damn it. All right, number 6 is Neheb. Neheb the Locust God. Neheb the Eternal. So it's our red mana generator, and you would actually...
I put this in my Xantcha deck, and it is fantastic. It's if you can do a lot of damage, it will get you a lot of mana in that second main phase.
Now, the non-foils looking for under 4. Foils are a little more expensive than in order of what we've been doing here, but looking for them to get under 10 and then start picking those bad boys up.
Going to number 7, we have talked about this card many times here. Ramanop Excavator. We're hoping you can get the non-foils for under 3. The foils for under 7.
I'd focus really on the foils on these bad boys.
No, this card, once it kind of rotates and gets forgotten about, like it'll start coming back.
Yeah.
It's Crucible Worlds, which was up to $60, $70, $80, however much.
And this might be a card that you have to get now because, like I said, when we first started talking about this in our early episodes, I was picking these up for $1.50 to $2.
It was under $2.
And we're at $7 right now, so it's
for
been on the rise.
non-foil
For foil.
Oh, for foils, yeah.
For non-foil, it's at 3. So it's more expensive than when we were picking them up earlier this
card
year.
Is so good.
Yeah. And then another card that we talked about a crap ton that I love. Number 8.
This could probably be number 3 on the amount of cards that we've talked about.
Yeah, it could. Mirage Mirror. I even made a song with it. And this is the same thing. Non-foil under 3, foils 7. The thing is like I try to put this in almost every deck, especially if it just works. It has so much utility with not only working with your stuff, like if you have copies of your stuff, that's awesome, but just being able to have that threat that if somebody else is playing shit, you can copy it. You can copy anything with this thing. I don't need to reiterate it, but love this card.
Keep going.
Yeah. But under 7, I mean, this might be at the bottom right now. No, it's probably only going to go up from there. But yeah, Mirage Mirror. And the amount of decks that are on EDH Rec, it just keeps going up, of course, because more people make more and more decks. But anyways.
I mean, it makes
cool
sense.
Story, Hansel.
Everybody's going to be using it.
Yeah.
So we think this is a card that can easily go up.
Yeah.
Number 9, Nicol Bolas, God Pharaoh. We're thinking that you can probably pick this up for under $6 at a certain point, and then foils for under 15.
Right.
You should be happy. This card is a 4 ability Planeswalker. I would almost say this is the best Nicol Bolas Walker out there.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's 7 mana. I love the idea of having all your opponents exile 2 cards from their hand. Like
that is pretty good.
And then it does normal Nicol Bolas stuff.
2 pluses and 2 minuses.
Yeah. I think this is a great card.
Yep. $6 for a pretty sweet ass Planeswalker. Now this one I'd probably more focus on the non-foil. I mean the foils are pretty good too, but personally that's probably the one I'd go for. Mm-hmm. Next one is Scavenger Grounds. Non-foils we're looking for under 2, foils for under 4. So this one's a pretty close to that number right now. So you could probably pick those up, but that's the one that you can tap. It's colorless when it comes in, and then you can tap 2 and exile all graveyard. So it's a nice graveyard hate.
And if you're not one that plays with your graveyard, like Adam, like this is a great card because you just get rid of everybody's graveyard. To whereas like Bajoka Bog, which is a common from Worldwake and has been reprinted multiple times,
a couple bucks,
always $1.
Yeah,
doesn't drop below $1. This card is just as good because it goes in every deck.
And actually, I think I misstated. It's tap 2 and sacrifice a desert, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I believe it might be. Now we actually have to go down to.
That's how the deserts do it.
Yeah, I think it's a sacrifice. What are we looking for again?
What card are we talking about? I don't know.
There he is.
Scavenger Grounds.
Sacrifice a desert. So if you had more deserts, you could sacrifice that and exile. So you could do it multiple times, which is kind of sweet in itself.
Yeah, I think this is solid graveyard hate in a format that needs it. Because oftentimes you're like, I don't want to fit in this card just randomly. Whereas if it doesn't really help, because if nobody's really playing graveyards, you don't have to sacrifice anything.
Right.
It just is a colorless land that works for you.
And then number 11, you get you get all the fucking gods.
The Locust God. Okay, number 11, the Scorpion God is something you can probably...
It is something.
It is something. It is something. It's you can probably find the non-foils for under $2 pretty easy and the foils for under $4. I've talked about how they randomly kind of add in -1/-1 counters, and this is a card that will only go up once it's hit its bottom.
It's so freaking cheap right now.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
Well, just in itself, the 5-drop for a 6/5 that even when it dies, it goes back to your hand. You know, as long as it's not
a bad
exiled.
deal. Yeah. And then you can kill other creatures, and you get some card draw and black-red.
A really good. I mean, that's probably your value-wise. This is the cheapest. This one will go way easily down. Yeah, and then it could potentially bounce way up, especially the foils on that bad boy. Bless you, Lowery. Or nothing happens. Next one is Hour of Promise. Now, this is the one where it's 5-drop. It's a green card. You get to search for any 2 land, put them into the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle your library. And then if you control 3 or more deserts, that part you're probably not going to have a lot of. It's more of being able to search for that Gaia's Cradle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. to
Right,
rub it
Larry.
in my face. Yeah. So I mean, the thing is when they banned Primeval Titan, like that kind of left a little bit of a void. Like it was a really powerful card, and this is somewhere right in there. They're kind of like, I feel like they're trying to fit that in. Like, hey, you can still go and search for any 2 lands you want, but you can't repeatedly do it, and you can't abuse it and stuff like that. So it's a pretty decent card.
And right now, your non-foils were right around bulk, so looking for under $1. So I'm more focused on the foils on this for under $3 for that.
Cool beans.
Next one, Larry, number 13.
So Solemnity, you can find it for under $1, and then foils for under $4. This one, basically, players can't get counters. Creatures, nothing can get a counter placed on them.
Except for Planeswalkers.
Okay, except for Planeswalkers. But they don't count because they're not real.
They're imaginary.
But this is Poison Hate. So
This should be in every deck. Yeah, every Lowery deck.
But this kind of combos with Devoted Druid. It
does a lot of stop. I mean, it stops a lot of other people. I mean, a lot of people play with a lot of counters and everything on their stuff, you know?
So I think I think it can really go well. Like, I would put this in my Zora the Enchanter deck, because you can just go search for it if somebody's putting 1/1 counters on all their shit.
Or you could even abuse it with the combo with the Deep Sea thing that has the counters on it. The land, and it turns into 2020 or whatever. Well, it comes into play, and you can't put counters on it, so it automatically turns into a 2020.
That seems like a really cool thing.
Yeah, so there's some stuff you can do. Number 14, Hour of Devastation. This is all creatures lose indestructible until end of turn, and then it deals 5 damage to each creature and each non-bolus planeswalker, and it's a 5-drop red card.
Yeah, it gets rid of...
Indestructible is pretty sweet to get rid of that.
Yeah.
And then 5 damage to all planeswalkers
just being able to
creatures.
get rid of indestructible and like board wipe, and if those creatures don't die, you can still use a kill spell to kill like an indestructible creature.
Yeah.
Like if they have Blightsteel Colossus out, and you're like, Hour of Devastation... not terror. I was going to say terror, but you can't.
That was like path. So I went the opposite. Like, you didn't need to do it anyway.
Works anyway.
Yeah,
all right. Yeah. So, you do Cast Out. I think that's a card.
But the Cast Out is to remove it. Cast Out, or is that Cast Away? Which is the enchantment that has flash? I feel like that's...
There's one from Dominaria that is in my mind right now.
All right, we're going to type this
You can murder it. You just murder it.
There. All right, Cast Down. Maybe that's...
Damn it, Cast Out was incorrect.
Yeah, Cast Out is the one. I was like...
Cast Down?
Cast Out was like, you can already do that. It's the same thing. It's got to be Cast Down is what you're... Cast Down.
Let's see if I'm even...
I saw it in there.
Nothing's popping up.
There,
yeah, all right, Cast Down. I was right.
You were Cast Out, Down. Out, down.
Out, down.
In and out.
All around.
Yeah, so you're right. Cast Down. There, now you can kill that Blightsteel.
Quote unquote.
Then it's not legendary. So yeah, you can kill it.
Yep.
It'd be funny.
We're talking about a lot of work here.
All right. Anyways, good card. Get it. It's non-foil under $1. Foils for under $2. Go for the foils.
Yeah.
So, and our number
down?
15, Lowery.
Number 15, we're thinking God Pharaoh's Gift. This is basically already bulk, and then you can hopefully find the foils for under $2. This was kind of a mainstay in Standard for a while, but it's 7 mana. And then you just continually bring back a creature before your attack step. It has haste, and it's a 4/4. Like
zombie.
It feels like there's a late game advantage that you're.
And for 7 drop, you're not going
to quite a bit. But if you're having ETB creatures, they come into play probably bigger than they were. Like if you're playing Wood Elves and letting them die.
That's why it's in my Vraska deck.
Yeah, I can. Oh, is it? Mm-hmm. Good to know.
Yeah. All right. Why don't you get us
I didn't listen to your spotlight, by the way.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
I
was going to say, what the hell? I thought you meant like the podcast, and I was like, it just hit me. I'm like, you were right next to me. You just, as I'm talking, you're just not listening. All right. Get us our bulk buys.
Bulk buys, just other cards randomly. This set had full art lands. Check those out. Samit the Tested, Majestic Mariarch, Pride Sovereign, Uncaged the Menagerie,
Menage a trois. Menage a trois.
Unesh, Cryosphinx Sovereign, Hour of Revelation, Angel of Condemnation, Drive to Despair, or Driven / Despair, Oketra's Last Mercy, Fraying Sanity, Overwhelming Splendor, Champion of Wits, Claim to Fame, Firebrand Archer, Leave to Chance, Obelisk Spider, Steward of Solidarity, and Supreme Will. Those are all cards you should kind of check out. They all have some type of potential.
Yeah, and they're good to just have a bunch of copies to be able to. They work in a lot of decks, so and they're super ass cheap. So on all those, I would go foil on all those too. I mean, or you can just do whatever you want with those. Yeah, they're bulk, but foils have the best potential.
Don't come and bitch at us if you're like, you said these would be good. I mean, they're in the bulk buy section.
All right, so that does it for this episode. Let's actually get our sounder stuff in, so you can actually follow us.
How about you just like
Commander
go
Smiths.
Back, cut it into place,
That's too
and then
much
just
work.
have what? You could just have a sounder of.
It's too much work to do that, Larry.
Jesus.
It's not as much work for me to go back to multiple episodes and try to figure out where you said certain things and then plug them back in.
Antiquities.
That's enough work.
No, that's work.
That's worth it right there. And then I go, Larry, did you hear the episode? Yeah, I got it, Adam.
I got it. It was so seamless, I barely could tell. And then I was just like, I didn't say that.
I know some of it was like, I didn't know how to cut it because sometimes I cut it in and it sounds like that's what you're saying right there. Like all of a sudden you just bust out antiquities, or I don't remember what the other one was, but I had to
core cards for Commander. And I was like, I don't say that. And I didn't say it like that. They were very different.
No, that was not. That was.
They're very. Yours was very like German grumbly. Mine was like smooth monster car voice.
Monster car?
Yeah, monster truck.
Oh.
Monster vehicle voice.
Monster vehicle voice. All right, we're gonna end this episode. You can follow us on Twitter at Commander Smiths.
You can email us at commandersmiths@gmail.com
or YouTube us at YouTube. And actually,
Commander Smiths. Yeah.
Yeah, subscribe to us there. Like our stuff. Also, whatever you're listening to us on, give us some nice ratings because we're starting to get some reviews and all that. It'd be good to give us good ratings. If you don't like it,
fuck off.
That almost sounded German. Fuck off.
Fuck off.
C.
Yeah.
C.
Sí. Sí, señor. Un cerveza, por favor.
So, anyways, that should do it for this week's episode. Next week, we'll actually start getting into our specs again. You know, we're done with our rotating stuff.
I don't know what I'm doing at this point.
But
so
yeah,
far behind.
Just we have those lists of our rotating stuff. So in the next, that's going to be starting now because we're a couple weeks in. They're going to be getting. Well, they're lower prices.
For that second.
I wasn't paying attention to you. You're looking at my specs that I have there.
I was.
You're like, I'm going to steal those.
No.
These are my specs that I will have for next week. But anyways, I was saying that we're getting to the point where we're kind of getting towards the bottom, the next couple months here. So look at buying those. Stop reading my specs and let's. My eyes are up here, Lowery. Stop looking at my tatas.
That's not your tatas.
Oh, I don't know.
Is it?
I don't know where I was going with that.
Anyways,
we'll see you later.
I'm trying to think of like a bad card to say. Why would you have that?
Llanowar Elves. That's not that bad.
Well, you know what? I have an unlimited version.
Unlimited?
Unlimited version. And it shot up to
like
15, 20.
Good
so
for
maybe you should have
you.
spec'd on it before Dominaria came out. Just saying.
All right. That should do it for this week. We will check you guys next week.
Bye.
See ya.
No. Bye. We're rusty. I'm sorry.